Hi everyone, welcome. I just wanted to welcome you to my YouTube channel. So I decided I wanted to do this channel because I am kind of starting a new leaf with my life, and I'm so excited about it, and I'm happier now, and I just wanted to share with people tools of how to think positive, how to grow. I just want to share my story with you. So for as long as I can remember, I have dealt with anxiety. Points in my life, it was really bad that I would say, I had severe, I had general anxiety disorder, for basically anxiety of everything, every day, worrying about the future and things, constantly worrying about what people thought of me. Social anxiety, I always needed to have somebody with me to go somewhere. I would not go to parties or even like at home, um, shopping parties and stuff like that people host in their home. A lot of times I wouldn't go to those things if I felt like I didn't know people there and it would be a bunch of strangers. It was too uncomfortable for me. I dealt with so much work-related anxiety, getting up to go to work every day. God, I just didn't want to do it. And I dealt with this for years. And I tried anxiety medication once for a short period of time. I actually took it for a couple of days, and I really didn't like how it made me feel. And it wasn't the path I wanted to go down. So I kind of just dealt with my anxiety the best way I knew how, which at the time wasn't that great. And then I had my daughter, and I had like postpartum anxiety, where my anxiety was so heightened. I felt like I couldn't get to play groups. I was isolated. I worked in a different city, and so when I was at home, all my friends were down in that city where I used to work and at my work, and I no longer really had contact with them during the day. So I felt isolated. I felt like I couldn't get to things. Also, when I was in my last year of university, I was in a car accident, and it really shook me up. So I had this fear of driving, so I wouldn't drive anymore. So I was at home with no contacts during the day and no vehicle to get anywhere, and huge anxiety about getting my daughter on a bus and trying to go somewhere, and it was horrible. And so at the time, I feel like when things are happening in your life and you're stressed, something always opens up. There's always a resource for you when you need it. And so I was at a local center for new moms and children to go meet other people. I was doing a program on a Monday, and I walked down with a stroller. It was something I could walk to, so I went to that. And I had anxiety. I didn't know the people, but I didn't really have to interact with them. There was a leader who led the group. We did songs with the baby, and then the most uncomfortable part was at the end of the group led activities where everyone just got to sit together and chat. And I felt awkward. I just listened all the time. I really like to just listen to people. And then I would go home. And I was there about almost 6 months. Maybe not that long. I mean, my daughter was 6 months old, but I hadn't been going that long. And they had a speaker come in and talk about postpartum depression. And I didn't feel that I had depression per se, but the anxiety was really bad. And after that, I just went to speak to someone, and I broke down crying. And she said, "You know what? We have someone that you can speak to at the hospital who has a support group, and I really think it would be beneficial for you to go talk to people about it." And I went and I met the most amazing group of women who are so supportive, and many of them still in my life. And that was like a turning point for me. And I still wanted to deal with my anxiety in a natural way. And so they urged me to, to take medication, to speak to someone. I didn't want medication, but I thought, okay, you know what? They're right. I really do need to speak to someone. My doctor was in the other city. I thought I need to switch doctors. I need to come closer to home. So I did that. And I ended up going to a local nurse practitioners-led clinic, and they had some social workers I could speak to, and I went on a weekly basis at first, and I would speak to them, and they really helped me to see that anxiety wasn't a problem. It was actually a good thing, that my anxiety helped me to always be prepared, to always be on time. When my daughter was born, and I was like, I need a daily shower. Like I cannot not have my shower. It was important to me. And so I problem solved around that, and I got clear shower curtains and a baby bouncer that would fit in there, and I put her in there so I could see her and talk to her and sing to her while I had my shower every morning. And so she said, see, anxiety is not a bad thing, it's good for you. And that was my first step to really changing my perception on that and creating a better life. And so after I went to see her for a while, I decided, I want to start driving again. And I had that huge fear. So we did a little bit of cognitive behavioral therapy sessions. And it helped. I did get back in the car for a bit, driving around the blocks. I made it to the mall and back, so that was a huge success. But I did it through the summer. And when the fall weather came and my husband or my mom was home, they worked in another city as well, and I could ask to borrow their car to practice, the light started to change. The sun was setting, and it was right in my eyes, and the fear of I can't see, I'm nervous driving, and I just stopped. I stopped for the winter, and then I never started again. And so then my daughter she started kindergarten, and I had huge anxiety about her starting school. And the first year was a little bit rough, but again, support. There was a program in the school called Coffee Connection, and you could meet other moms, and it was mostly me every week going because I just needed an outlet, someone to be there. And I spoke to the coordinator weekly, and I got tips, and I was introduced to another program where someone could come into my home weekly and help me come up with solutions to dealing with situations at home with my daughter, and getting her to brush her teeth on a regular basis and not fight me on it, just little things like that, but in a more positive way. And that really helped. And then she had her second year of kindergarten, and she had an amazing group of teachers, and they were extremely helpful. And so things just went from there. And then that year, that winter, I was looking for natural health options. Sorry, my stove was going off, so just ignore the beeping. I was looking for natural health options to support my daughter's cough. And I was invited to a class on essential oils that a friend was having, and I attended the class, and I fell in love with it. And I immediately saw the benefits of the oils, but the amazing business opportunity, because it was a health product. People are looking for natural ways to support themselves. It was a consumable product, so I'm not hauling buckets looking for new customers all the time. The people fall in love with the oils, they're using them, and they're reusing them. And I just felt that it was a fantastic business opportunity that aligned with my beliefs in natural health, and with something I was looking for that I wouldn't have to haul buckets. And so I started that, but what I got out of that was an amazing community of supportive women who just lift me up and filled me with positive messages all the time. And even when I was struggling and wanting to give up, and I was lacking in my belief of, can I do this business? I had a mentor visit with my upline, and she said some things to me about building my belief, and at the time, I didn't want to hear it. So I left that meeting just very disillusioned and upset, and I felt unsupported and stuff. And then, the more that I went home and thought about it, and it sat with me, and the more upset and angry I got, it was upset and angry at myself that, she's right. I really need to do these things. I need to build my belief. And luckily, she sent me some resources as well, that I listened to some audios, and I read some stuff. And just key things really resonated with me and helped me to build my belief again, helped me get excited again. And I started sharing that, and it made a huge difference that people saw my excitement, and they got excited, and they wanted to support me. And so they started helping to share with people. And not even just the business, things in my life, I start seeing them more positively. So, when my daughter got sick with something, it was something like, how this is horrible. How can people deal with this? This is gross. And how, this is so stressful on our lives right now, this period of our lives. And at first it was hard to see the silver lining. And then I started to realize, as things were going through my business, I had learned so many things and created things that I realized that I had made a vision board, 10 months prior, and I was knocking off things on my vision board. And I did a training program for my business, and I had to create a 2-year plan of, what does my perfect day look like in 2 years? And part of my perfect day was, my daughter sleeping in her own room, in her own bed all night long and not crawling into bed with us. And so with her getting sick, it was like, I don't want to catch this. You need to sleep in your own room. And so we made her, it was something where we normally would like fight with her for a couple nights and then give up and be like, fine, crawl back to bed with us. But with this, it was like, I am not getting this. You need to stay away. Like, sleep in your own bed at night. I don't want you in close quarters with me at night. And we stuck with it. And you know what? She's been sleeping in her own bed. So, like, that's the silver lining. Like, yeah, she got this, and yeah, it's gross and sick, I don't want to deal with this. It's stressful. But at the same time, like, now she's sleeping in her own bed, and that's a stress off us. And I am, like, not waking up sore with knees in my back. And, like, it's just so amazing. And then just, again, a busy month, and I'm doing stuff, and I thought, oh, I'm so exhausted. Like, I'm doing so much to better myself and self-improvement, but I'm exhausted because of it. Self-improvement's hard work. And so I was doubting myself again. Can I really reach my goal this month? Can I really get there? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to think positive. I have to think positive. Even if I don't reach my goal, there's so many positive things that came out of this month. And I'm just going to focus on decluttering my life, decluttering my home, decluttering my mind so I can clear space for the positive thoughts in my life, the positive thoughts in my business. And when I committed to that and I started doing that, people started reaching out to me again. Like, it just happens when you commit to something. These good things happen. They just come to you, and it builds your belief. So I just want to share that with you, to welcome you to my channel. And I'm just going to be sharing with you when I have these moments of inspiration and just belief and things that get me excited. I want to share that with you. Things that help me grow, I want to share that with you. So welcome to my page, and I hope that you get lots of inspiration from it. I'm going to go turn off my stove now. Thanks. Till next time. And I'll put the link to my essential oil page if you're interested in learning more about that. Ciao, guys.